What's going on, YouTube? Time for another recap. So, as we've seen, kind of a boring morning, and if you watched our last YouTube video, we had two different scenarios coming into play with the 200 moving averages on the daily. So, as we posted here on X, we're just right from our YouTube last night. We're doing either over or under the golden pocket there on SPY. Doesn't matter which way it goes. If we're under 578.81, we're going to try to head down to those 200s, get our final target. If we are above that golden pocket, as we see here, we're going to look at that long side. There was nothing else to do besides confirmation on a golden pocket level. Second post we made here is boring, but we're on the way to the SPY target, 569.62, or we fly back over 580 for the long. Okay, so those were the scenarios that we played out. We talked about both scenarios on YouTube last night as well. Let's take a peek. Yesterday's low action on the big purple dash line, that's the 200 SMA daily, 200 EMA daily, right? So yesterday's action, we obviously shied it. That's what happens when we talk about shying here. It's when a moving average or fib or anchor view app, the price action will come into one of those indicators and it'll get super close to filling. It just takes off the other way. Why? Well, because algos know people are stupid and they love to follow indicators for absolute tags, and that's a no-no, especially in our trading group. So we went over with a couple different scenarios of this golden pocket. So yesterday's high-low from 585.39 to 572.24. The golden pocket is then in between 580.37 to 577.26. That becomes the over-under, right? And as we discussed, we have this target down here in the 200 EMA, right? And SMA, obviously. Price action came down again and straight scam shy, right? So that's perfectly fine. That was a scenario we talked about yesterday that could easily potentially happen because we had multiple gaps above us and direction. So if something from all-time highs like this goes in a direct straight line with only two green candles on the daily chart because of our baby hand Trump man there with the tariff news and the scary this and that, same exact thing he did last time. There's no different. It's not no surprise to us if you've been trading that long. So on the way down to the 200s did not happen. We are in dead straight line to the downside, right? Can't happen. So let's take a peek at what the volatility index told us. As we noted for our chat, I said, guys, we have a really good setup for bearish VIX right here. We want to see those 200s hit real quick before it happens. Did it work? Nope, we shied. No big deal. But 26.35, and then, of course, lower high. And we did mention some structure breakdowns here where that high got taken out by some nice lower lows, came back up to almost a double top. Nice lower high, still in sequence, and straight down, right? So VIX definitely told you the story very early on, as we discussed during live trading for my group today. So what I do is I draw big sentiment candles a lot of time. And I told guys 580 was our big monster level, and as it says on X as well. Excuse me. We got an intraday algo here to use too. But we had just another force squeeze up, end of the day, nonsense rally. Same exact thing happened. Same algo happened, just in a different spot, just a little bit different, right? Compared from yesterday's today. It's all the same programs running. These computers are easy. So over under was the mega outlook, okay? And I said stay short, definitely under VWAP. You swap over VWAP. Our VWAP is one of our major indicators here, okay? And if we didn't stay under, right, VWAP, right? Yesterday's close, 100 EMA, literally anything. We rejected the 100 EMA, rejected the VWAP. We have so many confirmations of perfect downside that we could get, scammed up. 10:30:11 is something that we talk about in my time, Central Time. That's where Euro close and the algos can swap, okay? And this is a time frame change that we look for all the time. So between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m., that's a Euro close. So abrupt moves can happen when the other algos shut down on different markets, hence Euro close. So that happened right at about 10:50 in between our 10:30 to 11 algo swap watch. We came in trend direction immediately. That always gives us a great sign there. So the immediate squeeze back up, got caught for VWAP support, 100 EMA support, and off she went, which perfectly fine. It's over under, as we discussed yesterday on the YouTube, the GP here, okay? So again, yesterday's high-low, right here, 0 to 100. That means the GP is here between 580.37 and 577.26. That's the 38.20 fib. Excuse me, to the 61.8. So what's next? Well, we had a pretty choppy, this is a one and done trade. And we did have some algos that we talked about here. We can bring the top step. We got them all marked off here on the top step. But this is another thing for ES that I had some algo imbalances that needed to fill at 57.42.75 to 57.36.75. Okay. So when it came down to that ES level and didn't hit, and again today, came down, same scam, different day. Beautiful shy, ran away. Beautiful shy. We had a couple different targets on the downside as well. But on the big grouping there, it's still open. So we definitely will be coming down eventually. So let's talk about that longer term prediction for the lower high, right? For the daily chart lower high. Because what the algos would love to do, they trap dumb money retail. That's us, right? So from all-time highs, dead straight line to the 200. And then, unfortunately, the we'll call them geniuses of the world, will look how close to the 200 we are, right? Especially on the SPY. Right there. We almost hit yesterday, then we higher load a little bit from today, right? Barely having supported yesterday's low. Shorts but just could not move it the rest of the way. Now, this is called shying, right? And this happens on anchor view apps, Fibonacci's, moving averages. It's when price action gets very close to something and it's just dead straight and then miss and does the complete opposite because there's chasers, right? There is dumb money geniuses, we'll call them, that honestly think that, they'll take a short here and they just assume that the 200s will hit. This is the fallacy. It's the silliest thing ever. And we trade against that a lot of the time. We're early in, early out, and we express these algos on how to trade them a lot. So if you look at the 2 days too, between each other, as we kind of said, shied the 200, right? Notice the trail back up, big force up scam, intraday algorithm wick, same pattern. It's literally identical. Same old computer trading nonsense, super predictable as always. This is how we get into the 160, 170 green days consecutive. It's awesome. So 580, as we discussed on the X, okay? 580 is going to be massive. 579.90, 580, okay? That's the golden no pocket tag from our friends at the daily on the 29th, okay? So we talked a lot about the last YouTube video here on the 29th, the 3-3 candle. 29 was the last one, actually. So the 3-3 candle, not the 29. That's the gold right here on the Fibonacci's. And then we made a point of interest saying, hey, if it gets back inside the gold level, right here. So the bottom of this candle on 3-3. That's right here in the gold, 579.90. If we go past that, we're up. It is green. If we stay under the golden pocket, which is yesterday's high low in the white, we have a chance to go to the 200s, but all she did was higher low, scam shy, no big deal. We're used to that. Easy to trade those algos. So now over under, as we expressed in our group, I said, don't touch it until it's outside of the GP, okay? So we had a beautiful lower high setup right here that broke down with some oscillation indicators and broke outside of the GP. And she ran beautifully for a little bit. This is what we wanted to see. Didn't quite hit the 200 target, but we put in 40 points to the downside, and we said short or long, just whatever it was, get outside the GP. Don't play the inside chop in the golden pocket. So we did have a great scalp right there, and 40 points on ES is crazy because VIX is so high. So ES trading like NQ size here. If you look at the later on here, so this big purple box is that golden pocket. Let me, that'll be a gamble. We'll have to remove, I bet you every single one gets removed but the orange. Yep. So we're going to go to the GP. Oh, redraw this one, the white GP. There we go. Yesterday's high low. So I said, don't play anything unless we're out of this box. The box is junk. Don't play the box. Don't play the GP. We played the opening morning first tags. That was simple. We had the one and done, beautiful long trade call, easy money. Now, the rest of it here above the VWAP, continuation in that same old algo program we see here at this little sneaky wick here for the algo could have been used for that intraday day trade as well. So from here to here, right? And then we had a micro little GP tag right there for the next 5 minute, and then bloop, right to the 1618, and then it just consolidated sideways, just pegged, right? Algo action is very manipulated, but it's very easy to read, which is nice for us. So as we come into now the 15, when I was looking at some GP tags here, our last video, we were talking about some solid GPs here that just were not tagged. And it's the center lines, right? So the big algo's up here. Notice the little blue indicator here. It's telling me from 1230 back here on 3.3, that big red candle. We don't have a GP tag. And then we expressed that we had multiple 1 minute gaps, and we went over that in the last video. If you go to the 1 minute chart now, 2 days back, you will see these dash lines up here during that 3.3 candle. Notice the golden fibs are above, right? So these dash lines right here on SPY, and then we had the same pair of them on QQQ, okay? So just zoom in right here real fast so you can see. 1 minute gaps, 507.79, 505.76, and then of course these up here, same thing on SPY. So we said in our last video, if we do not hit the 200s, and like I said on X today as well, we are shying it and running back, right? We either tag these twos or we will shy it again, and we are gone with the wind back to the upside scam because we need to make a lower high on the longer standing time frames. So this is the prediction. This is what we've been talking about for a couple days. Straight line from all-time highs straight to the 200. Doesn't hit the 200, shies it on the SPY, right? Big scam, because all the shorts, and again, for some reason, these geniuses will short lows on the day, like today or yesterday, and be like, oh, it's easy play. They would rather play a short from here to here than play a long 40 points down for a reputable long up holy cow, 170 points on ES. So instead of utilizing a 40 to 170, which would be, you know, I would long here and then just add into my position at the 200s and then go for my 10. They're for some reason shorting here and going for a, hey, we're already down, I don't know, 400 points on the ES here, and they'd rather short into that. It's insane. But that's why these algos do that, because so many retailers for some odd reason have that mentality. Well, I can help you with that. I'll fix you up. Come join the chat. Now, 580 was the biggest point. So let's talk about 580 real quick, and that's the over under. We talked about having no golden pocket tag. That's where this purple box is, which is 3-3 high-low. Okay, high-low fibs. What's the golden pocket of the gold? 509.70 to 586.58. That's when you fib out the 3-3. GP is marked right here with a big old purple channel, right? And we also said that we could get it engulfing day. And it's funny because we'll watch the video. We talked about it. I said, well, I just mentioned it briefly. So we could easily just get it inside day from this red day. Never hit the 200, hold an inside day, which we did, and then wait for the 10 SMA to come creeping, because my target for the pop, and even if it's a short-term pop, shying the 200 is into the 10. So I'm going to plan for that for tomorrow. So this is what the trade is going to look like on the prediction. We have targets as high as those 1 minute gaps. Those will come into play. There is 4 total, 2 on SPY, 2 on QQQ, 1 minute chart. Those are going to be targets along with the 10 SMA daily. So if we take our Fibonacci right here, high low, also, so that's today. Okay, close down, obviously. And tomorrow is going to be all first tags. So no matter where the action starts, even if the futes run it up overnight and we scam everybody, we do a huge ass gap up and it gaps over the 10 and we start cruising up, we'll assess it then. But these fibs will come into play very good. I want to see it kind of hold through the highs and the close. We don't get too crazy to the upside, because target 1 is this GP in the gold, okay? This whole level. So this is your target 1. So anything holding the GP here up to the first GP of 3-3 is going to be the long move, okay? And that's if we see that. If not, and it's under this GP, well, go back for the 200s if something catastrophic for some reason happens overnight. I still think we're going to either continue the shy and move up, because we need some back tests here. We need that 10 SMA daily, okay? So let's take a look what that looks like on the intraday here too. I know it gets a little messy with all the fibs, but we can clean it up. We only had 2 on here now, so no big deal. Just remember these levels. Anything over 580, right? Top of that GP, we're inside the gold, means price action holds 580. We're moving to this GP gold, which is target 587 to 589, okay? And beyond that, let's say we push into the GP and even force through it, it's the gaps. Those are your 2 biggest target markers I want you guys to pay attention to. The 1 minute gaps and the GP from 3-3. Okay, right there. Those are going to be huge if 580 holds, okay? That's the prediction long. If we're back under 580 and we lose the gold 100 here, we're under 580, then it's continued effort back down to the 200s. Okay, that's it. Simple as that. Watch the over-under, watch the trend. Let's do NQ real fast as well. So I'll probably be playing the open. I'll try to stream it if I can here. Another hour, maybe. Get the kids fed and come down here for some games. Let's try to stream this. All right, so we're going to come to daily. Now, futures are way different. I explained this in my last video as well, and why I told you that this futures bounce meant nothing. We could easily plow down. We called this doji as well. So what you want to do is you want to pay attention to doji levels a lot of the time. Notice that's at 20,535. Just give you a little intraday hint there. The doji level of that body was massive. Now, look at where the breaks were today. Opened, held that weekly, Chop City. Look where that action is. Dead on the doji. Okay, look at this purple zone right here. That's the doji from yesterday. This is the open, 5 p.m. Central for me. Weekly hold chops that doji. Attempts, smacks into deviation, and down, chops the level, and look at the candle. Look at the algo there. Look at all these holds. And this candle was like, nah, watch this. 5:50 a.m., snapperoo, okay? And then straight down to those 200s again. Then, of course, it came snapping back, which is fine, but it took that amount of candle right there to get through that doji level, okay? And now look what it did when it came back to the doji level. It came back from lows, recovered the 200s, all the way back to bloop, right to the doji level. What did it do? Chop, 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 doji level, slam back through, and now we're above. Okay, that was the trade for today. Now we're going to redo that again. We're going to do high, low. Bam. And we're going to look for what? My main squeeze 10 SMA, okay? The snap right here. And this candle is extremely viable. So we're also, I'm not going to tell you why, but my class knows here. So on the way back up, I'll give you the recovery level of NQ and the break level. This is it right here. Simple as this. If the intraday holds here, this is your outlook. Market's going to open. Anything above the doji we just discussed, okay? And if we have a real strong up, we got a lot of crap down here to backtest now. A lot of fair value gap doubles, a lot of Fibonacci no tags for us. Some of you guys call them FVGs and stuff. We have a completely different system we're working on for something a lot better than that. And above 20,000, it's kind of 500. That's a good psychological, but I don't want to worry about that one too much. It's going to be over under the top side. So what you want to see is exactly what we drew here. It's the hold of the GP, and look at the most important level, 20,531. Okay, that's where that doji body is. Not today, yesterday, right? And that 20,540, that's going to be massive. So even if we come out of the gate and it's just kind of here, trend down a little bit. It's the second we break through that 20,006, and she's gone with the wind, and we're chasing the 10 SMA daily. That's target for tomorrow. 10 SMA daily retrace above GP. What does that mean? Above. Right here's the GP, right? Here's today, closed out. Anything above 20,531, break out through. This is more of one of those high plays where I would more or less look for the recovery of 20,700, and you would snap into that 100 EMA potential. So it's going to look like over yesterday's body as well. So this whole marker move, all green, no red, right? Unless we suffer a loss under the weekly of 20,457.93, there is no way we're going down. We have to be under that weekly. Both other levels are going to be consistent with 20,555 all the way up to the 10 SMA daily, okay? So everything is long biased right now above doji bodies, above fibs, and above 20,700 is your break, okay? Which means if we hold these two dojis, even if we dip into it a little bit at that GP, the breakout level, whenever that may be, over 27 is headed for the 10. So let it open up, get a breakout through 20,700 and try to catch a move to the 10 wherever it recalculates to. Might be hundreds of points. We'll see. It's the only play. Link in the description if you want to see this live. And of course, comment on every video this week. We're giving away a Top Step account every week during our live weekend classes on Saturday. Okay, so comment on this video to be entered. We're going to pick a random video Monday through Friday. You got to comment on every single one because I'm going to pick a random one this week through Monday through Friday to give away on Saturday. Now, if you want one last little piece of the confirmation, it's going to be with a no tag on the 50 as well. So I want you guys to pay attention, just like we said, the 10 SMA. I want to add this real quick. That 50 is also a breakpoint back test. So we washed the 10, washed the 50, down, hits the 200s, blows past this, and hits the 50 as well. So we could actually bounce into that huge retrace because, again, straight lines, market doesn't like that. And then the SPY shied the 200s. We could drag all the markets up to here, which would be a lower high into the back test of the 50, drop it lower low so the SPY can hit those 200s it shied. So we are still going to look for lower high territory out here now in the macro, okay? So all the way back up here. So if we do start the green trend back up, 10 SMA first target, 50 SMA back, and we have a long way up. All right. Links in the description if you want to trade with us. If not, stop in on the next YouTube video. We'll talk to you guys then. Trade safe.